and welcome to the Premade Dominate quarterfinals. I am your play-by-play caster, Mikey, joined by Cubby. We have two very powerhouse teams with Excalibur Eternal versus We Love Soulbert here in the quarterfinals. Cubby, how are we feeling today as we go through this draft?
Feeling good. Good to be back casting on the Risen channel. A little bit clogged up today, but we're going to power on through that, as starting to power on through the bans as well. Karma, pick that you, Mikey, mentioned earlier, might get taken off the table. Has been taken off first, and pick that you mentioned that might have been taken off the table would have been Caitlyn. It looks like that might sneak on through. Let's see if they take it out here.
Yeah, we can expect that if they're not going to ban Caitlyn against Soulbert, that they're probably going to pick the Caitlyn against Soulbert. They've kind of preemptively banned the Ashe, thinking that they might get that Kate for him. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if Excalibur elects to actually pick that, or maybe go for the Senna that Cage loves to play here in this game.
Yeah, it could be an option, and with Caitlyn, Senna, and a few other ADs on the board, could be first pick, but nope, going to be that Hecarim, which very strong jungler at the moment, but has a couple matchups that can abuse it. One of them actually being Olaf, taken off the board by WOS themselves. So let's see if We Love Soulbert can come up with something else for the answer. Lilia, very strong jungler that we still have on the table, could possibly be it, or maybe another AP jungler. Evelyn Karthus might be coming through as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if they elect to go for this kind of submarine comp. Now they have that Twitch locked in on the opposite side. Shen is banned out, but you could probably expect a Rakan pick to come through here. Maybe a Lulu, but it looks like they're going to elect to go for that Lilia that you were talking about. It's a good matchup into Hecarim. Lilia has all that mobility. She's able to weave in and out of fights, whereas Hecarim kind of has that one-dimensional I'm going to go in layer to him. I really like the Lilia matchup, but it's interesting because we haven't seen much of Lilia from We Love Soulbert this year. Jolingo has not played it very much in these games leading up to this quarterfinals, so it's going to be interesting to see how they play around.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in We Love Soulbert's draft just because we've seen Twitch cropping up as a counter to Ashe, actually. Like when Ashe doesn't have flash and you are Twitch, you can really pressure the pick around the map because all you have to do is find her, press R, and then you outrange her, right? That's why we're seeing a lot of Twitch recon. So I'm curious that they banned it and then pick Twitch into Hecarim, a pick that can so easily attack the rat in the bot lane. As if you've been in the wild, you know that horses kind of beat rats. It's a known thing in League of Legends as well. So curious to see that they picked it up so early, and I like Excalibur's answers to it as well. Senna, a lot of global pressure, can pressure the Twitch, and also Maokai. So you're always going to have an option to get on the rat. And you mentioned it might be paired with Lulu. Lulu is going to be coming through before we hit the second round of bans.
To see whether this Senna is going to be with that Maokai in the bot lane, or whether that Maokai is going to go top lane. We've seen Senna Maokai in the past with the Maokai farming and getting those tank items and just able to sustain through the lane with the Senna based on just his passive with the Senna Q. But it'll be interesting to see how that matches up against Twitch Lulu. Lulu is a very oppressive laner against these melee matchups, especially with a fasting Senna. So it might not be a fasting Senna. This might just be a bait, and you might be getting Mikey hyped up for no reason. But
I mean, it could be Maokai top still too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
A very valid option, and Urgot is a very strong matchup into Maokai as well. So maybe trying to get rid of some of those counters. As
if we see a Mordekaiser ban, we're gonna expect that Maokai top, right? If Mordekaiser ban comes out, that's almost guaranteed.
Yeah, Mordekaiser is pretty good into the Maokai in the top lane, but not gonna hit the ban list. Maybe they are planning on having this be the fastest Senna Maokai bot. It might be nice and excited for that one, or maybe they don't think that Mordekaiser is gonna be coming on through for We Love Soulbert.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what We Love Soulbert rounds out this comp with, because like I said, the Shen is banned out, which is part of the reason why this Twitch is such a good pick right now. Having that submarine, having that entryway for the Shen into a fight. They pick up the Ornn, really good for engage. I really like the pick. It's safe. It can match up against Maokai just fine. But you have Twitch, you have Lulu, you have Lilia, you have Ornn. You're lacking a lot of AP damage because your Lilia is going to be whittling down these tanks, Hecarim and Maokai. you don't really have burst on your side yet. So maybe a burst mage for mid lane. There's the Mordekaiser going to be picked up. So it looks like that is going to be a Maokai bot lane. And I am hype, Cubby. I'm ready for it.
We're gonna have to see. I think that We Love Soulbert's damage, I guess, share between AD and AP is actually gonna be just fine. With the Ornn and the Lily, it actually opens up for something that could be a Lucian mid, something that we've seen cropping up quite a bit at Worlds, depending on the matchup. But kind of surprised about this pick, man, that we have coming on through, because I think Orianna actually would have been really good for the side of Excalibur, and they took it away themselves. And also, Ornn pairs really well with Twitch. I would have banned out the Ornn, tried to take away some of the safety that they now have in that top lane, as we have a Lilia coming on through mid, really trying to speed up the pace of the game. And I like this pick coming out from We Love Soulbert. Take that, Lucian. Take advantage of all the power he brings to the mid lane.
I'm curious about the Taliyah versus Lucian matchup because I have not seen it very much. I play on a team with the Taliyah main, but we never see Lucian picked into the Taliyah. I know that his E going over that tormented soil is not going to be the greatest thing in the world. He's going to take a lot of extra damage if he ends up dashing over those rocks. But all in all, I think it's a good matchup for Lucian. Lucian has a really, really good early game, whereas Taliyah's early game is not the greatest.
Absolutely.
So he can maybe pressure levels 1 and 2. And get a lot of pressure in that mid lane and roam for this Hecarim, who's in kind of a bad matchup against the Lilia.
I mean, I'm curious to see actually how Hecarim impacts that lane, because Lucian, he's a very safe mid laner and should be fine against Taliyah, but she does have early pressure, and if she gets some gank assist from some ganks from the Hecarim, she can provide some good gank assist against the Lucian, so they might be able to pressure them. And in terms of Hecarim versus Lilia, yes, Lilia does have that early pressure because she does clear so fast, but Hecarim can actually match that really well and heavily outscales the Taliyah or the Lilia as well. So I want to see this Hecarim get rolling, right? He has the chance to at least stay up in farm, but also if he gets ahead, he has a chance to way surpass the Lilia and really pressure this Twitch, and that's what it's going to be all about. Can they get on this Twitch, Lulu? Can they take them out before they get 3 to 4 items and really start pumping out the damage in these fights?
Yeah, and another interesting thing is going to be what this Hecarim elects to do for his runes. Is he going to go for that phase rush build? Is he going to go for the Conqueror build? Is he going to take Ignite? Is he going to take Ghost? Those are all big issues in this game. If he does take that Ignite, you know he's going to be aggressing early. You know he's going to be trying to fight this Lilia. And if he does not and elects to go for that phase rush Ghost build, you know he's just going to be playing around that bot lane. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they predict this Hecarim's pathing, where this Hecarim is going to go, because that's really the main guy on that team right now. I mean, Mordekaiser, good weak side top laner, obviously can self-sustain through this Ornn lane and do just fine, even in a 2v1. Where on the flip side, you want Hecarim bot, you want Hecarim to shut this Twitch down, and the Senna Maokai can really help assist that with gank setup.
Yeah, I really want to see this Hecarim play through bot, and it was interesting you were touching on like the Ghost phase rush setup. A lot of that's actually just to like be able to escape skirmishes going on. It gives him such good mobility because you can pretty much instantly pop that with your QW auto with the phase rush and just kind of, you know, get away from any situation, because Hecarim isn't going to be running flash. Obviously, gets a lot of bonus AD from that move speed, but I really like the Mordekaiser pick here because not only, as you mentioned, Mikey, is it a good weak side top laner, but also, like, coming into these fights, if you're able to remove the Ornn from the fight, or if you're able to remove the Lulu from the fight, it really leaves this Twitch vulnerable to the rest of the team and gives Excalibur the opportunity to really dive on this pick, really punish it, because if a team is coming into Twitch, it is really hard for him to function if he shows up early. So really going to have my eyes out for Earl King or Soulbert on this Twitch. Just to make sure that, you know, he's coming out of those ambushes at the right time after he's seen some of those important cooldowns go down, and then attacks the team fight. Because if he's able to do that, we all know how much damage Twitch can do.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what build he elects to go with as well. If he goes for that Manamune scaling build, or if he goes for kind of a Blade of the Ruined King into Runons, or if he goes the IE full crit build. I mean, there's a lot of options that he can do this game, and it all depends on how that laning phase goes for him, whether he's going to have to go for one of these builds.
Yes, and I have a gut feeling that we're gonna see the Bork just try and match with the Senna Maokai sustain, and also, it's gonna really help him kite away from Mordekaiser and Hecarim, but obviously does have that other option, you know, going for that late game damage build, always in his back pocket, but as we start to round out this draft and sneak in the spectator away, Mikey, I'm curious. You've seen a lot more of these teams than I have going into the playoffs. Which team do you think kind of has the advantage? Who do you think has the edge, not only in this game one, but just for the series in general?
Well, it's going to be tough. Again, it's very, very draft based. These two teams are both very strong, 7-2, 8-1. They haven't dropped many games each. But if I were to give the edge to any team, I would have to give it to We Love Soulbert. I know
Hmm.
that I've seen their roster more, which kind of gives me a unfair caster bias because I've seen more of them this split. But I really like their draft this game. I think it's gonna be really difficult for the side of Excalibur to play around what they have set up here. But on the flip side, Excalibur has done what we know to be the best split of this whole Dominate Premade, where they've only dropped one series. Um, so it's really tough to predict. I really like this draft for We Love Soulbert so far. Um, but again, if I'm giving the edge to anybody, it's going to be the team that I've seen more. I'm going to have to say that.
All right, sounds good. I'm interested to see how that one plays out. Now, both these teams play out as we are going into game one. Before then, though, I think we're going to go to a break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back for game one real soon.
Hello and welcome back to game one of the Premade Dominate quarterfinals, Excalibur Eternal versus We Love Soulbert. I am your play-by-play caster, Mikey, joined by my good friend, Cubby. Cubby, we saw these drafts going into this game. What do you expect out of this early game?
I expect blood. I really that's I expect this to be a bloody game between these two guys. Given the fact that Hecarim and Lilia, with their jungle pacing and this tempo they create, can get out on the map and make things happen early. Really want to see if Jolingo can make it happen on this Lilia because it is a pick, as we mentioned. It does get outscaled. Has to make that early impact, and paired with this Lucian that should have lane priority early, I really want to see if these guys can make it happen, get some sort of tempo going, and get We Love Soulbert off to a good start.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether this Lucian is able to push in this wave and just shove this Talia out of the lane and get these roam on the Hecarim over and over again with this Lilia. But we all know that Tick and Cage have had an incredible split thus far, widely regarded as probably the best bot lane in Premade Dominate. They're up against Soulbert, who's the namesake of his team.
The team mascot, as you might say,
What,
he
what,
is playing the rap.
What do we expect out of this bot lane? Do you expect this to be just a passive farm lane, or do you expect these junglers to just come down and make it a bloodbath?
I mean, the curious thing for me is the fact that Maokai actually went for the support item. So this is going to be a farming Senna, not a fasting Senna, which I didn't really want to see. I wanted to see this Maokai try and get some farm. I think that would really allow for them to pressure this Twitch early as the game goes on as well. And I'm kind of bummed that they aren't going through with that. So I think it really changes the landscape of this matchup and allows Twitch a lot more comfort.
Oh, there's some trading going on in the mid lane. Sleepily somehow wins that trade level 1 versus level 2. Interesting to see that. He's got the corrupting pot as well, so a little extra sustain for Sleepily in that lane. Earl King elected to go for teleport, so not a whole lot of kill pressure with the summoner spells, but lots of kill pressure with Jolingo lurking.
Whew. Yeah, we're going to have to see if that ends up coming to fruition. Something to look out for Sleepily is that he does have that ignite. Would really want to see the Hecarim kind of come mid because Lucian, yes, he has that dash. Yes, he has the flash for safety, but
in the Gage bot lane, there's the double root. Hiccup is getting dangerously low, going to have to flash. The heal comes out. The flash from Tick, they're going to get first blood. Looking onto Soulbert as well, but he is going to stealth away. So that is 3 summoners burned for 2. Tick burning both of his summoners to get 3 out of the side of We Love Soulbert, and that is first blood going over to this Maokai.
Yeah, Lulu, harass is always nice, but when you step that far up into a wave that is stacking for your opponents, you are going to get punished. And Cake and Tick, they pretty much get that one for free in the bot lane, taking that kill. A big mistake coming out from Hiccup.
Yeah, Hiccup just walking up a bit too far. You know, you can't do that against this Maokai Senna. They have a double root. You're going to get CC'd for about a solid 3.5 seconds. And that's not what you want to see out of this early game for this Twitch Lulu. You don't want to see them losing this lane in the early game when they have so much pressure as double range versus this Maokai.
Yeah, and if they get this wave in, they should be able to get a really nice reset for themselves. Make sure they get plenty of help and also dodge out on this gank coming in from Jolingo and even the Roman mid-pressure from Earl King. So really good start for this bottom lane for Excalibur. And meanwhile, the top lane too, if Ornn isn't able to pressure this Mordekaiser 4-6, he just starts hard losing the matchup. So the fact this is an even matchup and that Lilia hasn't gotten involved in this top side either to take advantage of that early gank assist from Ornn, really good early game signs for Excalibur.
Yeah, Excalibur looking like the team to beat as of right now, but we do know that Twitch is lingering, that late game insurance is there. But as this game goes out, as this Mordekaiser scales up and gets more and more items, this Ornn gets less and less oppressive in that top lane. Like you were saying, and we expected these junglers to have much more of an impact in this early game, but both of them electing to go for more of a farm-based early game here.
Yeah, full clear coming on out. It's okay for both junglers. I think Lilia was trying to get involved in that bot side and might be trying to get involved top here. Has gank assist.
Oh, the knockup is going to land. Blustic still looking for something. He's going to get the passive, but he's going to drop to Jolingo. That is another kill for Jalingo on this Lilia thus far, and looking good. I mean, that's exactly what you wanted to see, right?
Yeah, punish that Mordekaiser before he hits 6. Take advantage of Ornn bringing pretty much 3 forms of CC because he has the knockup, has the little boop on his W, and also the Q for his throw. So just allows Jalingo to get right in there, do some damage, and take that kill onto the Mordekaiser and put him a little bit further behind. So create some more room for the Ornn, and a good punish coming in here from Excalibur as well to see that play on the
Spotted
top
out on
side.
the Dragon.
Oh boy.
Soulbert going to stealth in onto Cage. Cage trying to stealth out himself. Going to have to flash. Blue team secures the Dragon, but in the meantime, trying to go in, he's going to drop. Jalingo going to go on to Tick, and that was a really good teleport play by Sign Me Up to get in there and get some trade kills back, despite the Dragon going over to Excalibur.
Okay, so aggressive play coming out of here from We Love Soulbert. I like that TP coming in from Sign Me Up. He's like, sign me up for this fight. I'm coming right on in. That Dragon is not going to be taken for free, and that gold going over to their pockets should open things up even more for them. They importantly got a kill onto Soulbert as well, so trying to feed their big carry early.
Yeah, and Soulbert is going to be the guy, as we know, the namesake of the team, the guy that is basically their entire win condition here, as we see some more trading going down in the bot lane. But Sign Me Up, able to get the teleport, able to get 3 assists onto himself, now sitting at level 6 on the Ornn, sitting on that Ignite. We can expect to see Jalingo path up towards that top lane again.
It's going to be a lot harder, though, because Mordekaiser has 6 this time, right? So if you path on up, it's like, nope, we just make this one a 1v1 and then go from there, right? So I think that he actually has to ignore that lane. If anything, he has to keep on farming up and see if he can punish this bot lane, because I really like what Soulbert's doing in this lane. He had it frozen at his tower, allowing for him to get free CS and denying Excalibur from punishing the fact that Lulu doesn't have flash still. So if he's able to set the lane back up like that again, you could possibly see a Lucian roam and a Lilia roam coming on down. Besides that, mid pressure actually went over to Excalibur, and they're making a play on the red buff here of Lilia.
Yeah, and Lilia's going to rotate, does not have vision of them, is going to look for the sleep, but is going to drop. Sleepily going to get a kill for himself on that Talia.
Really good play coming in.
Oh, here comes the root coming from Tick. There's a double root. Cage going to get polymorphed, going to have to heal to try and get away, but here comes Earl King, the teleport. The culling is available. Is he going to go for it? He is not. He's trying to get the kill. He's whittling down Tick. Tick is going to fall to Soulbert. What a great job by Earl King on that Lucian.
Yeah, had the level 6, did not have the culling there, but is able to still pick up the kill. But let's take a quick step back and set all that up, right? Previously, really nice play coming out from Sleeply and Jungle Willingly, right? They were able to get that mid pressure, make a play on the red buff, take it away, get the kill.
Jungle Willingly going to pop Ghost. He's going into Jalingo, but that's going to be that. So maybe a little overzealous to pop the Ghost there for Jungle Willingly.
He was feeling it. You know, he's picked up the red buff. He helped get a kill. He was trying to find some more and at least take some HP away, but I like the fact they used that jungle priority to make a nice play. And a big mistake from Jungle actually walking in there, right? You don't see Talia. You should take the long way around, sack that red. You should kind of figure that it is going to be gone because you don't have top pressure either. But hey, We Love Soulbert turning around another TP to the bottom side of the map. They keep on working on getting this Twitch fed. And fed he has been so far. 2 kills, halfway done with that Cole as well. He's looking really good to get into this mid game with 2 items.
Yeah, the Twitch is getting himself a nice juicy 500 gold lead for himself in that bot lane thus far. We do want to see what happens with this Senna, because as we know, Senna scales. Obviously not as hard as a Twitch Lulu, but has a bit of added protection with the Maokai's crowd control, and with the Mordekaiser able to take out the damage threats like the Hecarim, or like the Lilia and like the Lucian. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. But hey, it is a 1K gold lead. 1K gold lead for Soulbert.
Oh, no one saw that. A little bit of face point there for Ornn. It's all good.
Nobody saw it.
I mean, I really think that Soulbert is set up to be in a good position here, and I want to see if Blustix can do anything on this Mordekaiser, because he is, yes, he has that one death to his name, but it feels like he's the one strong point of the map here for Excalibur at this point in the game, and he has to start shifting that pressure to other lanes.
I'd like to see the Mordekaiser utilize this teleport. He's been sitting on it for quite a while. Sign me up, still sitting on that ignite that he swapped to earlier after burning the teleport on the dragon play. But Blustix, he's been kind of just vibing in this lane so far. Not much action. He does have the one death, but no action for his team up in that top lane whatsoever. He's just kind of been on an island. I'd like to see him teleport for this dragon play.
Yeah, is an option. I think that We Love Soulbert, they should just stall it out, right? They can let Mordekaiser buy some time, or my bad. We Love Soulbert, they need to take it.
Here comes the call of the Forge God onto Cage. Cage going to get knocked up, going to get brittled, but here comes the Hecarim, and here comes more damage onto Cage. Cage trying to get out. He's going to live. Meanwhile, Soulbert going to drop Jungle willingly. That's a double kill going over to Sleepily. Earl King in the meantime whittling down Tick. Tick not going to drop, but that is going to be Dragon more than likely going over to Excalibur here.
Yeah, it was a decent engage from the Ornn, but he went in too deep. He wasn't in range for Soulbert to really make anything happen with that play. And going to be 2 dragons going over to Excalibur. A nice TP coming in from Blustix as well. Was able to crash the wave too. So when he goes back top, going to pick up a lot of nice juicy CS for himself and further extend his lead in that lane too. Good play coming out from the blue side team.
Yeah, you like to see Excalibur make plays like this. We were talking about the Mordekaiser teleporting. Obviously, Mordekaiser not getting involved in any of the kills, but able to zone off a lot of the damage threats and kind of just soak a lot of the damage that Earl King was putting out. And here comes Jungle willingly looking for an engage on Earl King. He's just going to dash over the wall. But it was a really well-played play by Excalibur to secure the dragon, get themselves a second Drake already in this game. And they're sitting pretty right now, despite only being 100 gold up.
Yeah, and they're trying to make another play here, going on to Ornn.
Jungle willingly is going to go on to him, has the ghost available. Sign me up is going to get dropped. No, he's not. Here comes the Drowsy. That is a dead Talia, the shutdown going over to Lilia. In the meantime, Jaleo still trying to kite him down, but he's not going to fall. He's going to pop the ghost, and that is going to be a nice rotation by We Love Soulbert.
Nice turn coming out there. The mid pressure coming up big for Earl King and the rest of We Love Soulbert. They're going to turn that one into a Rift Herald. Have to drop it really soon to get some more plates out of this one. But hey, good turn. Keeps them in the game. Gets them back their gold lead they just lost in that last fight. Uh-oh.
Sign me up.
This is disrespectful.
He's going to get caught out by Blustix. Here comes the Death Realm, and that is a dead Ornn. That pathing, like you said, very disrespectful. You never want to see that out of your top laner.
Yeah, you just burn your flash and you're face checking a giant hammer. That's never ideal. I don't want to do that.
Face checking a giant hammer, an axe. This is Pentakill Mordekaiser we're talking about. He's face checking a giant guitar, right?
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Just beat him down with the sound of music.
So this game has been very back and forth. As you predicted, it's been pretty bloody, almost a kill per minute as of right now. But as this game progresses, where do you expect these junglers to lie? I mean, Jungle willingly is falling relatively far behind against Jalingo thus far. Do you expect him to play around the mid lane, or do you expect him to try and go for these bot lane ganks?
I mean, he's going to have to do whatever he can to save his team because not only is he behind, but his entire squad is behind as well. They're about to lose their mid lane tower to the Lucian pressure and with some help from Shelly being dropped in that mid lane as well. And he needs to start accelerating the pace of this game because the really good thing for the side of We Love Soulbert is that, yes, it's an even gold lead now, but a couple more levels for Ornn, a couple more items for Twitch, and that gold, like what golds they have on the screen really isn't going to matter. They're going to be a very strong team once Twitch gets to 3 or 4 items, once those ornaments start coming on through for the rest of their squad. And so really going to be on this hacker room. Can he start to run rampant in this game and get things going for Excalibur?
Well, here's Hecarim lurking in this bot lane. They do not have vision of these bushes, trying to go for a lane gank. But they're going to call that off, I guess, as Maokai roams up to try and clear some vision. But we have a little bit of a lull in the action. Because Cubby, I know that this game has been me cutting you off repeatedly. I want to give you a chance to talk about. Oh, here comes the Hex Flash from Tick. See, that's it, man.
I mean, it's okay. You can cut me off when things happen like that. I take a big deep breath, watch you go to work. But no, it's been an action-packed game so far. Something I really think has been missing though is Sleepily on this Talia. Yes, Talia is sitting at 3-1, but where have these really impactful Weaver walls been? Right? You want to see Sleepily working together with his Hecarim to really attack the bottom lane of Twitch. I want to see Sleepily try and get some priority, make a play down there instead of keep on going towards Lucian, who can just dash on out as we've seen.
Really interesting because, you know, it's like you said, we wanted to shut down this Twitch. This Twitch is now 3-0. We haven't seen Hecarim down there at all, if only for Dragon. It's been basically the opposite of what you expected out of this game, where Hecarim was playing towards mid side, and they weren't able to drop Lucian not even one time. Hecarim sitting at 0, 2, and 3, where his counterpart is sitting at 2, 2, and 3. Lilius has been all over the map, whereas Hecarim, you know, he's been sitting mid and getting absolutely nothing out of it.
A lot of that's just the relentless pursuit, right? I mean, Lucian just is able to play so far up in mid lane because of that dash and how long of a cooldown it is and how powerful it is in that short lane as well.
All right, it looks like we're posturing for another Drake fight here. Jungle Willingly and Cage and company posturing around this dragon. Ornn is behind them on the flank.
Yeah, keep your eye out for this Twitch and when he gets out of ambush, and also look for who Blustic Death Realm or who. Oh God, four-man sleep.
Here's the four-man sleep into the call of the Forge God. That's going to be a knocked up Blustix, but only Blustix. Earl King going to drop that culling. Here comes Jalingo in the meantime, going to drop down Jungle Willingly. Sign me up, looking for more, is going to have to miss the knockup. Earl King going to dash in onto Cage. Cage is stealth, not going to be able to find the target there. Tick still looking for some saplings to get some poke out, but that is going to be the first dragon going over to We Love Soulbert in this game.
I mean, I was trying to talk through like how both teams could play this fight and what to look out for, but it just doesn't matter when you land asleep like that. That's 4 members being
Tick
caught
is
out.
going to flash in onto Jalingo, going to get the shutdown for himself, but here comes the knockup from Sign Me Up. Sign Me Up going to have to flash out. Sleepily looking for some damage. The Ignite is going to drop him. Soulbert is rooted. Here comes more damage. The teleport going to come out from Blustix. Blustix going to look for something with the move speed. Has the flash, going to pull Soulbert. Soulbert going to have to flash out for himself, and that is going to be that. But the dragon going over to We Love Soulbert, despite the trade kill going back. And all in all, a good trade for We Love Soulbert. The tower is going to fall, but this game is just growing more and more and more even over and over again.
Yeah, it's even on the screen and with the gold graph. It's just the fact that this Twitch really scales hard, and the members that have to attack the Twitch, like the Hecarim and the Mordekaiser, yes, Mordekaiser is ahead, but Hecarim's really far behind. He's just going to get his Triforce now at almost the 19-minute mark. I mean, this is an item that you want to be finishing like 14 minutes into the game as this Hecarim. It's 5 minutes late, and it really showed in that last team fight as he was just melted by the rest of We Love Soulbert. And the fact that he hasn't been able to make or get ahead and make a big impact, and Lucian's now sitting at 2 items, Twitch is now getting close to 2 items, really is going to spell disaster for Excalibur. Even if it is even on the gold graph, they're going to start getting outscaled drastically, not even to mention when the ornaments start coming on in.
Yeah, I mean, those ornaments end up being about 3,000 gold in value for these teams. But here comes Jalingo onto Jungle Willingly, going to drop the Drowsy, but that's going to be that as Blustix trying to zone them off. He is all alone, going to go into the Death Realm with Hiccup. Hiccup, you do not want to be in there, man. You are going to fall to Blustix. In the meantime, here comes the Maokai Ultimate going to come out. The double knockback going to come in as well. Here comes Jungle Willingly. There is a shutdown. Another one going over to Tick. That is not who you want that gold on. Jungle Willingly looking for Jalingo here. They're in a 1v1. He's going to fall. In the meantime, here comes Tick. Tick trying to fight out Earl King. Earl King doing so much damage. He's going to get a double kill for himself. Cage just looking to get out. And we'll see if he goes for the snipe here.
Yeah, I just got ult. Go for it. Snipe him. You have blue trinket.
The back is going to come out, and the back goes off. Cage.
Where's the blue
not going for the snipe there, but another relatively even fight, a 2 for 2 all in all.
I've got to say that it was a really good engage for Excalibur, and they only get 2 for 2, right? That fight started out perfectly. Blustix, he gets a 1 for 1 and survives, not to mention they wreak havoc. The root lands from Maokai into a multiple man fear from Hecarim, and they only split the fight, right? It's still very in favor of We Love Soulbert, and if they're able to get a fight on their terms, where a sleep lands or they start off with the Ornhorns, I still think Excalibur in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's like you said, this Twitch is just gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger as this game progresses. But not to mention the Lucian now is 4-0 and 6, sitting on 2 items, is absolutely massive. Still stacking that tier, almost fully stacked, almost at that Mirror Mana power spike, and that is going to be hurting the members of Excalibur when that is completed.
Yeah, once Lucian gets those 2 items, he does so much damage that it really is his biggest spike within the game. But we're looking forward to this Twitch finally getting his hands on a Hurricane, starting to work towards that Infinity Edge as Ornn. He's now ding level 13, was only able to get 1 ornament for himself, but has another one once he wraps up that Sunfire Cape, and is going to start giving out some friendly gifts to the rest of his team.
Yeah, the Ornn is the real kicker here, right? You have a hyper scaling comp with the Twitch, but not only do you have the Twitch as a late game insurance, but you have those ornaments. It's going to be really hard for Excalibur to remain keeping pace with them like they have been as this game progresses, like you said, because this Twitch now has 2 items. This is a big power spike for him with the Runans now completed. If they can get a team fight and a 5v5 going right now with the Mirror Mana spike and the 2 item spike for Twitch, they're going to be looking really good.
Things are starting to look a little bit dangerous for the side of Excalibur.
Hiccup may be caught out. Here comes the Weaver's Wall, going to go over with the Blast Plant, and sleepily going to get a kill for himself. Here comes the Call of the Forge God. That jungle willingly is asleep, but he is going to get the Senna Shield and live. Meanwhile, Soulbert, in the meantime, trying to get himself another kill. He's going to... Oh, the stopwatch is going to let Cage live. Cage still pumping out the damage in the backline. Here comes the Death Realm on the Sign Me Up. Sign Me Up just trying to get under the tower. He is going to fall eventually to Blustix. Blustix going for Earl King as well. Earl King going to have to flash Blustix. Gonna get whittled down by the tower. Earl King somehow able to survive. Cage does not have that ultimate available as Earl King is going to farm out this bot lane. But that is another dragon. Now 3 dragons. Maybe, if Jalingo doesn't steal.
And now
this may be a steal, actually.
Oh, they don't have...
Here comes the flash onto Jalingo. Jalingo trying to get onto the dragon, but not going to be able to. Earl King going to pick up another kill for himself.
Go.
They're going to have to leave this dragon. The Earl King is going to pick it up. Red team has slain at Cage, just 1 auto away, and that is a 6-0 Lucian. Earl King looking huge on this pick.
Yeah, I think we kind of needed some yakety sax music to accompany the back half of that fight as we're, really coin flipping the dragon. Maybe like a coin flip animation as Sleep.
Soulbert gonna flash onto Sleepily here. That is not what you want to do. Here comes Jungle willingly going to go onto Hiccup as well. Earl King pumping out so much damage on this Lucian. Going to drop the culling onto Sleepily. Is not going to be able to finish him, but here is a double kill for Earl King. Earl King is 1v9ing this game right now, Cubby.
He is 8-0-7, legendary on this Lucian, just going off. He was a few shots of the culling away from getting the 1v3 there, as Sleepily and Hiccup kind of overreaching a little bit, making this game a little interesting, but Earl King coming to the rescue, come to save the rest of his Vikings, come to save the namesake. Well, I guess he did go down, but still a good play for the team, right? Still is able to turn things around.
Trying to give himself the reason, he's trying to say, oh, you guys should name change to We Love Earl King.
That's what this game's been.
That's what this game has been. We love Earl King. It's been all about this Lucian, and now he's sitting on a decent amount of gold. He's sitting on 2,500 gold on that Lucian. Still not backing yet. Now 2,600 is finally going to back. But that's almost a full item. He might be able to pick up his IE now that he's sitting on that pickaxe. But Sleepily may be caught out here. Here comes the stopwatch. The knockup going to come out. The Call of the Forge God onto 2 targets. but that is not where you want to be. Sign me up. Jungle Willingly is going to will you down
He might be able to
eventually,
buy enough
but
time.
he's going to try and buy time for himself as Soulbert and Hiccup are on the flip side. Soulbert is stealthing, but that's going to be that for that play, as Sleepily able to stall himself enough time with the stopwatch.
Okay, so this game's still very close on the scoreboard. We have a very small goal differential, same amount of dragons. Still think that We Love Soulbert has the advantage in this one, but I want to keep our eyes on the Blustics, because if there is any way that Excalibur is going to come back in this game, going to take this game, it has to be off of this Mordekaiser. He is sitting at 2 items. He has been a menace in these team fights. Look out for who he death realms and if he's able to get multiple kills in the fight, because he has to wreak havoc in order for them to overcome this Twitch.
Very much so. And you're not going to have, I mean, it all depends, like you said, on who he elects to go for that death realm. Because the way that it works is he steals the stats, right? So when Mordekaiser gets the kill, he keeps the stats that he steals. But here comes the Weaver's Wall and a Soulbert. There's going to be the Jungle Willingly ultimate, and that is a dead Twitch, despite the Lulu ultimate coming through. And that's not what you want to see if you're We Love Soulbert.
It only took 26 minutes. That's exactly what I wanted to see from Excalibur, right? That Twitch doesn't have flash. They have a Hecarim. They have a Talia. They say, all right, he's way too far up in mid. Let's punish him. They throw down that Weaver's Wall. They're able to get on him. Finally, Excalibur goes for the play that they needed to make throughout this game. And, oh boy, this is scary. They do not take Baron fast at all as a team. They have a Senna and a Talia, and Mordekaiser is not there. This is going to take forever.
Yeah, and this is not where you want to be with Earl King now level 15 with that red buff as Blustics fighting Sign Me Up 1v1 in this bot lane, but here comes the turn. Sleepily going to go for that GLP onto Jalingo, but that's going to be that as they back off this Baron.
Yeah, I don't like them starting the Baron. I don't think they should touch that objective at all unless they ace, like pretty much get a clean ace, right? They just don't do it fast enough. And look at how much tempo they're going to lose off of this play. They may even open up the Baron for the other team, not to mention all the dragon control they're giving away. With dragons spawning in less than a minute, that's a very important point of the map right now.
We have dragons spawning in about 45 seconds. This is going to end up being soul point for either team should they get it. So a third dragon, always important, as it puts pressure on the rest of the dragons in the rest of the game. They have to fight for them. But, you know, it's like you said, Baron is the objective. It's where it enables you to siege, right? And if you're Excalibur, that is an objective that you really want. The problem is, like you said, they do it way too slow. So, on the flip side, the other team, We Love Soulbert, does it very fast. Very fast.
Now, the good news for Excalibur is that We Love Soulbert did go for a late reset to get more items, and importantly, they got a QSS on both Earl King and Soulbert, right? So this Twitch and Lucian going to be safe, and it's still going to be really tricky for the side of Excalibur to take this. You can see how much poke those Lilia balls do throughout the river. Even got the shield off of Senna. I'm going to give them some vision in the brush here as well. Let's see if they can create an angle and see if they can go.
The Weaver's Wall going to wall them off of this dragon. And the flash over from Jalingo, he's not going to secure it. The stopwatch coming through as here comes the call of the Forge God. Jalingo getting pulled in, but hits a 4-man sleep. And here comes Earl King putting out the culling, and that is a lot of damage onto the enemy team. But here comes Sleepily trying to get some damage out. Sign Me Up still running at them. He's going to have to back out. He's going to dash out of range, and that is a 2-for-1 with Dragon.
All right, so fun fact, Sign Me Up. If you're playing Ornn and you E the Talia wall, it breaks it. They could have broken the wall and walked in there to try and contest. Instead, Jalingo has to flash, go for the Miracle Steal. Use it.
Sign Me Up may be caught out here. He's going to have to dash to safety, but is it going to be enough? The Ignite coming through. He is getting so low. He's going to live somehow. And Earl King gets out with his life as well. In the meantime, Soulbert trying to chase down Jungle Willingly, but I don't think that's who you want to chase. And that's going to be that for now.
This game continues to be close, and I keep on talking about how We Love Soulbert scale better, how they have more tools as the game goes late, but Excalibur is setting up the plays. I want to see We Love Soulbert take a little bit more initiative, try and pull off an earlier engage with an Ornn or a Lilia, because if they're able to get those knockups, get those people asleep, it really opens up more room for Twitch, whereas if Hecarim is jumping on them, life gets really tough for Twitch and Lucian to try and make it through these fights.
Yeah, very much so. Lucian now sitting at 10-0. I don't know if he needed to buy QSS. I think if Ornn pulls him in, I'm pretty sure he just murders him. But I could be wrong.
I think you're right about that. Uh, he is absurdly strong right now, sitting at 10-0-7.
Yeah, and Lilia has been making some Monka W plays, but still very strong compared to the counterpart, Hecarim. They're both sitting at about 2.5 items. Lilia almost done with the Zanyas, which is going to be a very, very big buy for Lilia. But, we've been talking so much about this Twitch that we've completely forgotten about how well Sleepily is playing this Taliyah. I mean, this guy has been incredibly impactful in the past couple of fights.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pick that is so strong right now for a reason. We've seen the impact showing up, but as we move forward and we see them still, like, each team is still kind of posturing around Baron, I really just want to see these teams have an extended setup over Dragon, right? Because there's no way that Excalibur should even be sniffing Baron with their team comp. They do not do it fast enough. Set up around the Dragon, try and get a pick around there. And on the side of We Love Soulbert, I want to see them set up earlier. If they're able to get that Ornn and Lilia in the river instead of having to work their way in, it's going to be a lot stronger as... Uh-oh.
Here comes the Death Realm, but he's going to go to sleep as he's trying to chase down Jalingo, but Jalingo just too fast.
He's fast.
Blustix may be caught out here. He gets the pull, though, and he's going to get taken dangerously low, but here comes the Senna ultimate. Here comes Call of the Forge God, and he's going to finally get whittled down by Jalingo.
Watch Soulbert.
With that redemption. Here comes Soulbert onto Jungle willingly. He's going to drop, and that's another kill going over to Sleepily on this Taliyah, but Soulbert doing so much damage. Here comes Earl King as well with the culling, and Tick trying to blast cone himself to safety, but he is going to fall as well. Sign me up, picking up a kill for himself finally on that Ornn.
That was a very good setup coming out from We Love Soulbert. I was a little bit worried about them going on to the Kaiser, but Lilia was able to buy so much time with the move speed. She gets in that Death Realm, and when he popped on out, the rest of the team was there to answer, not to mention the fact they caught out Hecarim with whatever kind of pants horses wear. They were down. I don't know what he was doing there, as he doesn't even use his ultimate, just gets melted by the AD carries of We Love Soulbert, and that is going to be the Baron going over to them. Mikey, you mentioned how this team does take Baron very quickly. Unlike Excalibur, we get to see that right here.
Yeah, that Twitch is just going to completely melt it, and that's going to be Baron going over for... And I think it got onto the Lilia as well. It looks like it did. So Baron on all 5 members. Huge deal for the side of We Love Soulbert as they move into this late game. And now we have a Twitch finally at that 3-item power spike, sitting on that Infinity Edge now. That's going to be a huge deal as we move into this next fight over this Dragon.
I'm really surprised that Ornn decided to upgrade the Zanya's Hourglass of Lilia instead of the Infinity Edge that Twitch just completed.
Yeah, he upgraded the Blade of the Ruined King for Twitch.
Oh no, Soulbert! You gotta change up your items, buddy! Oh no. Alright, well, that's an oops going on through, but once again, the posturing around Dragon continues, but this time we do have a We Love Soulbert with that purple cloth.
Sleepily is on the flank. Here comes the Weaver's Wall. Going to wall them back in. Here comes this trying to attempt to steal. He's not going to get it. Here comes the Call of the Forge God in the meantime. He's going to hit Sleepily only, and here comes the sleep from Jalingo. A huge sleep as Soulbert tries to get out, but Blustix trying to chase him down. He's going to try and kite it out. Soulbert still dangerously low, going to stealth back to safety. Here comes Sign Me Up, fighting on Blustix. Blustix going to sustain through this. Here comes the Senna ultimate, going to get an extra shield. The TP coming through as well. Soulbert is stealth, and here comes Earl King. Earl King trying to look for something, going to get slowed by the I don't know what it's called, sapling. And here comes, And Earl King.
By the baby tree. He got hit by the baby
I couldn't
tree.
think of the word. But that's going to be that, as now it's 3 dragons to 3. This next dragon may be the win con for both sides here, as sign me up, coming up huge in these late game fights on this horn.
I mean, we know how much CC this guy brings, and it helps him so much that the space he's creating is being taken advantage of by a Lucian and a Twitch that are fed and have items. I mean, these guys are doing some serious work this game. Earl King has yet to die in this match, as he has just been an animal on this Lucian. Soulbert, more of a human on the Twitch, but we have a flank.
Here comes the call of the Forge God. That is a dead Earl King already, but here comes the Forge God onto 4 people, and that's a huge knockup on. Oh my goodness, Tick is going to fall, but that is a dead Sign Me Up. Jungle willingly still going in, but Soulbert doing so much damage on this Twitch, going to pick up a double kill, looking for more sleepily, trying to get anything out of here with the damage, but Soulbert going to turn onto this tower as Blustix trying to wave clear out of this wave, as they have this Baron empowered cannon just wailing on this tower. Blustix is going to have to walk up to clear that, but it looks like he's not going to be able to. Soulbert and Hiccup still posturing around this tower. Sleepily now coming back with full HP. Is he going to look for it? Baron now runs out. Soulbert now trying to get on to Blustix. Blustix going to have to back up. They're trying to get this tower so desperately. There's the double pull, and here comes Sleepily. Sleepily trying to look for Soulbert. Soulbert going to have to stealth back to safety. Here comes Hiccup. Hiccup going to get put into the death realm. Blustix trying to whittle him down, going to finally get a kill for himself, as Soulbert now has to stealth to safety.
They split up. You can't split up the Lulu Twitch. I mean, we see how strong these guys are. I think it's safe to say this combo is officially online, as Soulbert goes untouched in that last big fight, rips through the side of Excalibur, and this 4K gold lead is a lot bigger than what it looks like with these ornaments now in their pockets, with the champions that they have on their team. Earl King, I apologize for caster cursing you in that fight. I said he's playing great. Deathless. Then Earl King does pull off Excalibur does pull off a really nice flank, but it's just not enough at this point. They needed to do this earlier in the game before the Switch Lulu was online, because now they're in deep trouble.
Yeah, this Twitch Lulu is turning out to be a huge problem for Excalibur, as Jungle willingly just can't get enough gold for himself to get any items, and is now still sitting at level 15, really trying hard to get back to level 16. But you have a level 18 Ornn on the flip side, level 16 Lilia, and now finally Jungle willingly hits that 16 power spike, but only sitting on 3 items. It's not looking great for this Hecarim so far.
Yeah, Hecarim, when you get behind on Hecarim, he has very expensive items that are part of his core build, and it's really tough to get back into the game sometimes, especially when you delay your death stance by going Warrior, which I do not recommend for anyone looking to play Hecarim in solo queue.
Yeah,
but a choice that Jungle willingly made in this one, as once again, well, Mikey, we've done this 6 times already, so we might as well do it a 7th.
Here comes the dragon dance. 50 seconds now on this dragon, as they are going to be looking to find somebody here to try and get a pick. Earl King all by himself. I don't think they know, though. Here comes the Weaver's Wall, walling off the rest of the team. Are they going to look for a dive on Earl King, though? It does not appear so. So maybe a weird Weaver's Wall there, maybe some miscommunication. But here comes Soulbert, here comes Jalingo, and here comes Hiccup on the flip side. Here comes the call of the Forge God, looking for Tick and Bluxy. They are going to find him. Soulbert going to free hit onto Tick. Tick tries to get the root. The QSS comes through. Meanwhile, Earl King going to drop Bluxy. Here comes Jungle willingly going to have to run away, but Tick still trying to get out. He's going to fall to Earl King. Earl King dashes back to safety. Here comes the redemption. Going to get a huge heal onto the team as Sign Me Up looking for more, but that is going to be a dead Hecarim trying to come in for the flank and trying to kill the Earl King man. But here comes Sign Me Up. Sign Me Up trying to get some damage onto Cage. Cage just kiting him out, and he's going to have to run as Earl King is chasing him as well.
Stop chasing the kills. Go take objectives.
Meanwhile, the rest of their team looking for the mid lane inhibitor. Cage is going to eventually fall. Here comes the teleport from Earl King. Is this going to be the end of the game? We are going to have to find out, but it appears to be that way. Bluxy spawning in 13 seconds, but it looks like that is not going to be enough time, as game 1 goes over to We Love Soulbert.
Yeah, and we love Soulbert playing a rather slow and steady game. And once they hit those spikes, once they got those items, really came into those fights strong. Clean wipe in that last fight as the front line of Excalibur were split up. And I feel like Excalibur can win that game if you run back those team comps. But if I'm Excalibur, I have to think of more ways to speed up the pace of the game early, because if they don't, it was already hard enough to deal with that Fed Lucian at the start, but then once you throw Twitch on top of that as well, with all the range and AoE damage that he brings when he pops that rat-a-tat-tat, it's just something that Excalibur cannot overcome.
Yeah, it is looking to be look, I am a support main. I want to full disclose that, okay? I hate Senna 80 carry as a farming 80 carry, okay? Okay, I've said it. I've said it. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it a million times. I hate it. Okay?
All right. I mean, I think Senna's a very strong AD carry, but if you're going to run fasting Senna at all, I think you pair it up with Maokai. I think that's a really good opportunity to try and get farm on a member that does very well with gold on your team. If you're gonna have a farming or a non-farming bot lane or a true support, play something like Blitzcrank, play something like Nautilus, something that can get on Twitch guaranteed every single fight, right?
Yeah.
I think that would have been a little bit different and change things up for the bot lane of Excalibur. But hey, we'll have to see what happens, because that's just game one. We've got a few more to go.
Yeah, that is just game one. Like you said, this is a best of 3 series. We're gonna have to see what Excalibur does to kind of rally back. We'll see if they have a pep talk from their coach to rally the troops. But you guys sit tight. We're gonna go to a brief intermission going into game 2 here, and you guys don't go anywhere. It's gonna be a good one. Hello and welcome back to the draft of Game 2 of this Premade Dominate quarterfinals. Excalibur Eternal versus We Love Soulbert. I am Mikey, joined by my good friend Cubby. Cubby, we saw what happened in Game 1, that Twitch able to scale up. What do we expect to see out of this Game 2?
I expect to see a Lucian ban coming on through, actually. And, hey, look, I called it. We did it.
Yeah, Earl King was just absolutely insane on that pick in the last game. And it's not what you want to see if you're We Love Soulbert. And that is a Twitch ban as well. So they're going for the full scale, hey, F you last game bans here.
And we'll see if they can go with the Hecarim again, and they are going to switch it up. It's going to be the set. Lots of flexibility on that blue side, can be put in a few different roles. Usually amateur teams don't play him in as many roles as pro teams do, but we're going to have to see where they end up putting him in the end.
The set is interesting flex pick, as the support role not so hot anymore, but still able to go down there. It's more than likely going to be a top jungle flex, as this Caitlyn going to get locked in for We Love Soulbert, which is what we were talking about in Game 1. I expected them to ban it against Soulbert, but now Soulbert going to be on that Caitlyn as they pick up the Lilia for themselves as well.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they answer it with the Senna again. Senna can somewhat answer Caitlyn, but you don't have any pressure or shove in that lane. Instead, they're going to be blind picking some more safety for themselves. Orianna in the mid lane and possibly a Hecarim to go in the jungle once again. And I do like this coming on out because it is a very good combo between these two champions. Really easy to attack whatever mid lane or Soulbert wants to pick up for the rest of the squad.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see whether they leave this Senna open as well, because Senna set is another one of those lanes with the fasting Senna that you can run. So we'll see if they elect to ban that Senna out against Excalibur, or whether they leave that open and expect that set to go top lane. But we see the Karma locked in as well. Karma is a champion that Hiccup indeed loves very, very much.
Yep.
It's probably Hiccup's best support, and you have Soulbert's best AD carry, so you better have some plans for the bot lane.
It's not to chain traps in that bot lane, but it is a lot of poke coming on through. And you mentioned how the Senna might be able to answer. Going to start getting rid of some of the answers at AD carry as Senna is taken off the board. Another decent answer. Team isn't as set up for it, but actually Aphelios is pretty good in the Caitlyn as well. Ezreal, another champion that might get taken off the board here as well too. Gonna have to see who they don't want to go up against.
Expect a Jhin ban here, but looks like they're gonna ban the Bard instead, leaving that Jhin up for Excalibur. The Ornn gonna get banned out against We Love Soulbert, so a couple of top lane bans coming out.
I like that ban coming on through. I think it gave a lot of protection for We Love Soulbert and what they wanted to do in that last game. And so taking that away this time around, it's gonna change the landscape of things quite a bit going up on here. Curious to see what they lock in here. Probably gonna blind or pick a mid laner to counter the Orianna. Cinder is on the board, is an option, but no. Is a Swain? Could this be Karma mid, Swain bot?
Could be. I would expect that Swain to be going top lane or mid lane. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But I expect that Karma to go onto Hiccup, as it's Hiccup's most played support. But yeah, it is what it is, and that's a Xayah hover. You don't get to see that too often. Is it going to be a Rakan locked in as well?
I actually really like Xayah in the Caitlyn. You have a little bit of range. You have a way to farm creep some range as well, and it is really good in the teams that come into you. Now, this team that Excalibur has, they do not want teams to kite into them. They want to go in. So I'm not as big of a fan of the Xayah this game, but usually if you're playing a kiting comp and you end up locking in Xayah, it's a very powerful pick. Gonna have to see how it looks this game and getting paired up with a Thresh. So I gotta say, this bot lane gonna be very vulnerable to a lot of poke coming on through for them.
So they locked in Xayah and not Rakan. I'm a little perplexed. I feel like I agree. Xayah can
do it.
Good.
Yes.
That's an Alawi pick?
Yep.
Okay,
Let's
Xayah
go.
without Rakan, I hate. I don't know if I like that pick at all. Zaya alone obviously is able to kite and do well. Nah, I don't know, man.
Mikey's not a fan, but I'll tell you something I am a fan of, and that is this Alawi pick coming on through. It's something that we saw a lot during SGC when I was casting throughout those couple months where we had that giant event going on. And the team that played it was actually Frostfire with Quas, and I got to talk to Kitsuo about it a little bit. They would pick it when it had a good lane matchup, and there were 3 melees on the map. What do we have in this game? We have a good lane matchup, and we have 3 melees on the map if you kind of count Thresh, who we're going to count for the sake of the argument because I'm excited to see some Alawi play coming on through for We Love Soulbert. It'll be a very different feel for them this game as they are really going for a lane kingdom feel and approach in this one. A lot less of a focus on team fighting statistical way than one.
Yeah, I don't know how the engage is going to work for them. I guess Alawi and Swain flashing in with Lilia flashing in.
Karma runs at people, man. We're just going to run at them.
I guess so.
Like Orianna Hecarim have to go into them, so they don't need to worry about it engage as much, right? They just need to worry about repelling it and chasing the rest of the fight once that engage wears off.
I guess that makes sense. I haven't seen Alawi in competitive in such a long time. I'm really interested
to played it, man. He was a beast.
I'm interested to see how this plays out. But we have 2 comps here that are pretty standard apart from 1 pick each, right?
I'd say the Swain mid's kind of weird too.
You say the Swain mid's kind I like Swain into Orianna quite a bit, actually.
Okay, I haven't seen that matchup a lot.
As a support main, I do mid as my secondary, and I play the support champions that I play support in mid lane.
Okay.
Swain, Galio, Lulu. And it's fun. I like Swain into Orianna. It's a good matchup. The problem is if Orianna gets ahead, it's really hard for Swain. Like, really hard.
Yeah, he gets zoned out pretty hard.
Yeah. So if Hecarim is able to play through mid like he attempted to last game, now that their mid laner does not have a dash to get away from him, it might be a little different story this game.
Well, we'll have to see if Hecarim can make a little bit more of an impact. That's something that was definitely missing on the side of Excalibur in the last game. The fact that they struggled a little bit to find tempo in the early game, and when they did find plays, Soulbert was kind of answering back, but it felt like the game was more of Excalibur climbing to get a lead, and then they just got outscaled once they started to sniff any sort of gold lead.
But is that like a matchup Alawi favor?
It's something that, you know, you can play. I think that's set, like, you have some gank assists coming on through, but as the game goes on, Alawi scales really well in the one-on-one matchup with items and a few levels, and she can really bully set because he needs to stack HP. Alawi does more damage into that, so look out for that matchup as Sign Me Up gets more levels under his belt to really start to punish the set.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But we are going to cut to a quick break for the spectator delay, guys. We are going to bring you game 2 of this Premade Dominate quarterfinals in just a few minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to this Dominate Premade quarterfinals, game 2 now. I am Mikey, joined by my good friend Cubby. Cubby, we saw what happened in game 1. They were able to scale out the game, but now Excalibur maybe have the scaling comp this time. We'll see what happens, but what are we expecting to see out of this game 2? Monka W. Okay, well.
Oh, here we are. I was just keeping an awkward silence for everyone. You know, we're just gonna really think about this one, make sure we get this analysis point correct. I'm expecting Lane Kingdom out of Soulbert and crew. They really need to do well in lanes. They've drafted 3 winning lanes with Lilia. If they get off to a hot start, I think that's really when they're going to start to excel.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really solid for them as they have a stack going on the bot side here on an invade. Here comes the side of Excalibur not knowing what's about to happen. Earl King and Soulbert walking back to another bush here. They've pinged out the invade. Maybe they know. Tick maybe looking for something here. They know they're there now. Are they going to look for a 3v3 fight? Jalingo going onto this red buff. Here comes the poke from Hiccup, trying to get some damage out. Jalingo going to smite, but is going to miss. And that's going to be red buff going over to Jungle willingly. In the meantime, he's going to ghost in and take first blood for himself, but he's going to fall as well. Soulbert going to snag a red buff for himself in that bot lane that's already a winning matchup.
Oh boy. Here
comes more. A heal coming out from Cage. And that's going to be that, I guess, in the bot lane here. But all in all, a 1-for-1 as Soulbert able to pick up a kill for himself, while Jungle willingly picked up a kill for himself.
I mean, this is going to be a slow start for both junglers. First off, Lilia, no smite, doesn't have level 2, but also Hecarim lost his red buff, and this really hurts the bot lane of Excalibur. I mean, the fact that Caitlyn, who has the most range level 1 of anyone in the game, now has red buff. That's not going to be feeling too good, especially in a lane that's already so strong for them.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really rough for them as Earl King looking for some poke onto Sleepily here, but Hiccup is going to be able to zone them off of this wave for the most part.
Nice sidestep.
And they're not going to be able to get much as Sign Me Up finally hits an E on the Blustix. But Blustix going to put some more damage out. That's going to be a dead Tentacle Man. Oh, he didn't actually get the kill. Unlucky for Sign Me Up so far. There's a root finally for Earl King getting a trade out in this mid lane, but don't think anything else is going to come out of that. Yeah, that's going to be
good sidestep. Yeah, some good sidesteps early from individuals on both sides. Of Soulbert lands another trap.
Oh, here comes the hook going on to Soulbert, and the Flay going to come out as well. Cage gonna have to back up though, but here comes Jungle willingly. The flash coming out from Soulbert. The flash forward from Tick. He's going to fall. In the meantime, top lane, Sign Me Up going for a kill, is going to get it on the Blustix. Jungle willingly, Cage and Tick trying to push this wave out. You now have yourself a red buff Thresh. We'll see if he elects to int and try and get a buff transfer going, but that's going to be that for the bot lane thus far. So really back and forth.
Really want to see action. You're like recommending that the other team ints so we get more action. That's something new.
That's my job as a play-by-play caster, isn't it?
I mean, I guess so. It's like you know, you get more chances to get clipped. You know, I guess it does help.
Yeah, you got to see the ints for the buff transfer. Isn't that?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what I would do as a support here. I would, you know.
Yeah, let's run a town.
Yeah, real quick.
Who do you want red buff to be on?
Tick, check your PayPal.
What would be best? Red buff on Swain, Alawi.
Here comes Jungle willingly. The flash from Earl King, but too early as he is going to fall eventually to Sleepily, and that's going to be a kill onto this Orianna. And like I was saying in pregame, if this Swain falls behind in that matchup, it becomes very, very difficult for him.
I mean, something that we mentioned in the pregame too is that we needed to see this Hecarim get going on the map a lot sooner than they did in the last game, and Jungle willingly delivering on that promise for his team. Says, give me the horse again. I'm going to run in the right directions this time, doing just that. Involved in all 3 kills, even 1 for the bad guys too, but we'll cut him some slack on that one.
Yeah, cut him a little bit of slack.
Just a horse trying his best, man. Trying to go fast.
Yeah, the horse is trying to go fast, and I respect it. I love when horses go fast. I also love when Twitch chat memes me on a consistent basis when their teams aren't in the quarterfinals. So it's a little bit of a monk of W, but here we are.
Okay,
we move forward through this game. Soulbert is very impressive on this Caitlyn thus far. This is not the best matchup for Cage, so it's pretty unlucky. I don't know why they didn't elect for the Recon.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if Hecarim can continue to break these lanes, right? Because Set has had shove for the first few levels, but is going to start losing it now. And we see the shove coming out from this bot lane constantly, and it's not warded. Yes, they're covering their mid laner with wards, but not their bot lane. Let's see if Hecarim can sneak in again here.
I'm trying to look for a lane gank here. We're going to see what elects to happen from that, but Sign Me Up is pretty impressive on this Alawi thus far. He's looking for a trade on a Blessix. Here comes the ultimates going to come out for both sides. There's the true damage, and the caster curse comes through from me. Pretty unlucky. So that's a bit of a monk of W there, boys.
Gonna have to say, that Set into the Alawi matchup, for first pick Set, it's paying off, and that's not ideal so far. The fact that he hasn't been able to really create a significant amount of pressure on the map and is actually, Blessix getting the best to Sign Me Up again here in this game too. Maybe he can do a better job of, snowballing this lead into the rest of the map, trying to get the rest of his team ahead. He didn't use his TP early enough in the last game. Really struggled in that sense, as we have a potential play coming out here.
Comes the ultimate going to drop from Earl King. Tick going to get taken pretty low here. Here comes Hiccup trying to get the root onto him. It is going to come through. Earl King going to pick up a kill for himself. But in the meantime, here comes the fear from Jungle Willingly. That's going to be another kill going over to Sleepy. Now 2-0 on this Orianna. And this is a total 180 from game 1 for Jungle Willingly.
Oh, this Hecarim has been everywhere on the map, getting involved in every single lane as well. Gonna get involved in the monster objectives now as well. Having a massive game on the pony. 2-1-3, keeping up in CS against this Lilia as well. Just needed to get a game down for the download on this Lilia as he's going to work now.
Yeah, he's really performing really well thus far. And his ganks have been relatively successful, so it's definitely definitely a 180.
Yeah, well, very successful.
He died the one time, okay?
That wasn't even a gank. That was him, going to trade a kill.
Here comes Earl King looking for something onto Sleepily, but here comes Jungle Willingly again. He's pretty low on mana, but has the red buff, is going to drop Earl King. Hiccup going to fall as well. That's a double kill for Jungle Willingly, and like I said, relatively successful. Relatively. But here comes Shalingo is going to fall as well, and that's going to be, this is looking like a big old Monka S.
I'd say his ganks are passing with flying colors. I'd say he's going for the triple crown right now.
He actually just won the Preakness. So
yeah, exactly.
Only the Kentucky Derby is left.
Yeah, needs to go top lane to make a successful gank happen there now.
Yeah, the Lilia has been almost non-existent in this early game.
Just taking it
after losing that smite 50-50 on the red buff. It's just been really unlucky for the Lilia thus far. But we were talking about Soulbert on this Caitlyn and this bot lane matchup being so oppressive, but we're not seeing really much coming out of that bot lane thus far, as Hecarim has been really just the difference this game.
Exactly. They haven't been dropping wards deep enough or in the right spots to spot the Pony, and Pony Patrol is in full effect this game as he has really messed up the plans of We Love Soulbert here in the bot lane. And the danger of picking 3 shoving lanes, right? It can be so good when Lilia gets up in the face of Hecarim, able to take away camps, and then you're denying creeps under every turret, and Hecarim can't do anything. But Hecarim also has the opportunity against 3 shoving lanes to break those lanes. He has done just that in this game and opened up a 2.5K gold lead early.
Yeah, it's looking really good for him. And it's also looking really
Really?
good for Sleepily. Uh, I don't know how you get yourselves back into the game through mid. Because like I said, Earl King is in a matchup that's very volatile, and when you fall behind on that Swain, it becomes incredibly difficult for Swain to do anything against this Orianna. He's gonna get blue buff for himself, so maybe that'll help him a little bit, trying to get some harass back. But all in all, what is the win con here for We Love Soulbert?
Um, that's a great question, Mikey. Because I don't know if they can, like, they don't have anything that can shut down Hecarim, right? And this Hecarim is going to get so far ahead in this game. And remember the last game, he didn't finish his Triforce until the 19-minute mark. He's gonna have it, like, potentially at his next base. I mean, he can farm one more camp and get it now. As good thing for We Love Soulbert is that they still do have this bot pressure. They now have Lilia down here hovering. I think the only chance they have to win this game is just to keep on playing through this Caitlyn and hope that Pony, puts his hooves in a couple of
Jalingo gonna get shielded, but here comes the root going onto the trap, and that is a dead
oh god,
Lilia. And here comes Jungle willingly going to pop the ghost, going to go after Soulbert, and Soulbert going to have to run away for himself. But here comes the lantern onto Hiccup. Hiccup trying to get out. He's going to fall as well. Here comes the shockwave from Sleepily, and that is another kill going over to him. And that is a double kill. Now 6-1 on this Hecarim. This is insane.
it's looking like a game 3 pretty early. I mean, this is a 4K gold lead, and if there's any member that you don't want to get fed on this team, it's the Hecarim. You don't want Hecarim to get fed. He scales so hard in the jungle, and it's been a monster game coming out for the Pony. Dropping that Rift Herald now in the mid lane. That should be mid tower going down. They have full control over that river if they want to take Dragon. I'm almost curious to see how clean can Excalibur play this out, right? Because this is a huge lead for them. Now we just have to see, can they clean this one up in very good fashion, very safe fashion. Make sure they're warding their flanks, taking the right steps to put this game away, because 6K gold, you should not throw this lead ever in League of Legends if you're playing as 5. So I want to see if they can play the rest of the game out very well.
Sign Me Up is trying to lane Kingdom Blustix, but really has been not that impactful on the Alawi. And we were expecting, like you said, an impressive matchup. And Sign Me Up now out of mana, looking for a trade on the Blustix, but he's going to fall. Here comes the flash. He's not actually going to fall. I jinxed it again. As Blustix looking for some damage onto Jalingo, but he's going to get whittled down by that Lilia. So finally a kill onto Lilia.
Bot.
And Jungle willingly looking for something, but he's going to run away as well. They're going to look onto this dragon.
I like some restraint being shown there, right? They have the dragon. They just take the objective and keep snowballing the game that way, instead of looking for those kills where things could potentially get turned on them. Not that it was likely to happen, but you never know.
Right. Can you imagine if they actually ended up stealing the dragon? I mean, that wouldn't really turn the game, but it'd be really cool to cast it.
It'd be something else. I don't know how we'd cast that one, but we'd try and figure it out.
Do it. We'd make it happen. I mean, we're Cubby and Mikey after all.
Full send.
But Jungle willingly now level 9 on this Hecarim. Jalingo also hit that level 9, so both of their Qs are now maxed. But we have a bit of a spike in the bot lane. We now have that IE finish. They throw a ward out and catch out that little cheesy gank they were looking for there. But we have an IE spike for Soulbert, so that is a big deal for him. But they're looking for stuff bot lane here. Jungle willingly looking for an invade on a Jalingo. Going to get smited, and he's going to get drowsy, but going to hit that lantern. And now nice. Tick looking for the hook, going to hit it. Here comes the fear, and that is a kill going over to Tick. In the meantime, Cage looking for a root onto Hiccup is not going to hit it. And Jungle willingly is going to take the enemy's jungle willingly.
That was a really clean play coming out from Tick and Jungle. Lantern into that death sentence. So good coming out from the support of Excalibur. And, Mikey, this is something that you were really hyping up throughout the game. And feels like he's delivered in this one. Getting out of this lane, able to make plays in a lane that can be so oppressive, been able to shut down this Caitlyn.
I think Tick is playing really well in this series in general. He showed up really well on that Maokai last game and is able to do basically the same thing, but better on Thresh this
You're
game.
you're being kind about showing up well on the Maokai.
He did more damage than Senna.
That's not a good thing. That's concerning.
For the Senna or for the Maokai?
I'd say for
Here comes
every
Jungle
single party
willingly,
involved.
and the Lantern coming through again, and that is going to be another kill for Tick. Now 3-1 on this Thresh, and Sleepily going to get himself 176 gold for killing Hiccup there. And this is looking more and more bleak for We Love Soulbert as this game progresses.
Yeah, this is solo queue. We'd be spamming some FFs in the chat, but it's not solo queue, it's fives. Gonna see if We Love Soulbert can play this one out and come back. They still have Sign Me Up getting pressure in this top lane, but it's looking really grim.
Yeah, I like I said, I am having trouble identifying a win con for We Love Soulbert.
The win con is win game 3.
The win con is to win game 3. You heard it here, guys. That is your win con for game 2, win game 3. Sleepily going to get hit by the E here, but not going to be much else happening up here in the top lane. Sleepily now sitting on that Luden's Echo, going to be putting out a lot of damage. But Hecarim this time electing to go for the Triforce and not going for Warrior. So that's a change. That's a change. No Warrior on the Hecarim this game.
Well, he went Triforce into Warrior last game, which I don't agree with.
Here comes the fear onto Earl King. Earl King going to have to flash the safety, but here comes Sleepily. Here comes the Shockwave, and that is a dead Swain. Somehow Tick able to pick that kill up as well. Now Tick sitting at 4 kills on this Thresh. And Twitch chat is loving this because, you know, this Xayah has been almost invisible this entire game.
Yeah, Tick's been really solid in this game, and Xayah has just kind of existed, kind of like the Senna just kind of existed last game. I mean, Maokai doing more damage than your AD carry is a point of concern, and I'd say that Kaya should be a little bit more comfortable with stepping up and trying to make plays. Feels like he's playing really safe on a game where they're
comes the
so
sleep,
far up.
But he's going to secure the Rift Herald no matter what. So a little bit of a weird sleep there by Jalingo. But if you are Excalibur, what are you looking at in this game? Like, hey, this is going to be how we close this game out. You think it's Baron? Do you think it's Soul? What are you thinking?
Oh, I mean, you just keep on stacking dragons when they spawn. You just reset a minute before, make sure you get in the pit, and because you have this gold lead, this item advantage, and this Hecarim that's so incredibly strong, you just don't have to worry about, like, We Love Soulbert, right? You can just bully your way around, get control for free, and you can start to deny the jungle camps as well to set them further behind. So I'd expect to see more and more of that. But I mean, this lead has gone so far out of control that the only win con that Soulbert had was to really lane Kingdom. They only got one lane that was ahead, and it's Alawi, who is the worst lane to get ahead. Like, she's going to do well in a side lane, but you can't stop this Hecarim from engaging, right? And that's kind of why we're talking about this, and the fact that, like, the game is over, because the game should be over. There should be no room for We Love Soulbert to breathe in this one, and I want to see if Excalibur can do that, if they can execute, and they're off to a good start by taking this dragon on spawn.
Yeah, and they're going to drop the Rift Herald bot lane for Blustix to try and get himself a little bit of pressure here as they pick up their 3rd Drake. So now Soul Point for them moving forward. Jungle willingly looking for an engage, but is not going to find anything.
With the play.
But here comes Jungle willingly, and that is a dead Lilia as Sign Me Up going to drop the ultimate as well. And Jungle willingly getting taken very low. He's going to drop the Sign Me Up as he flashes forward and gets the W, but here comes Tick. Tick trying to hit the hook, but is going to hit a minion. Going to flay Sign Me Up forward. Sign Me Up has that fully stocked Conqueror. It is going to be very hard to take down, but here comes Tick. Tick going to get slowed out by Earl King. Earl King trying to get that, but there is the Mikhails, but as Soulbert flashes forward, Cage going to have to flash away as well, and that's what you're looking for if you're We Love Soulbert.
So this is a pretty big throw coming in from Excalibur, and it's not enough to throw the game, but a common theme with all the plays they've made so far is that Hecarim and Sleepily have been involved, and they're the members that are really fed. They're trying to make that play bot lane without any knowledge of where the rest of We Love Soulbert is, and with knowledge that their Orianna can't join the fight. So the fact they go for that play, very greedy. We Love Soulbert properly punish as things getting hairy in the spot lane.
Ooh.
Oh. The Fist of Fury, too much.
Lord. I didn't even need to gas that one. That was set. That was set in 2020. That's how set works. In case you guys didn't know, he throws you on the ground and punches you, and you die.
Yeah, Fist of Fury.
Fist of Fury. Oh, man. All right. We have another lull in the action, so that's a chance for Cubby to speak about how this game's going to progress and whether or not Excalibur is going to go for a Baron play or if they're going to just stall until the next Drake.
3 minutes. You just wait till Drake. They don't do Baron that fast once again. They do it a lot faster than they did the last game with the Senna Malachi comp, but they don't have another crit item on Xayah. There's no reason to try and push that objective down. Just wait till the Dragon. Get river control, get a pick, go from there. Should be rather easy for these guys to play it on out.
King not doing the Earl King thing that we saw last game. Kind of non-impactful on this Swain thus far. And it's like I was saying, in the early game, it's a favorable matchup for Swain, but as the game progresses, it becomes more and more difficult. Sign me up and Hiccup clearing out some vision in the top side. But we see a lot of people mid. And we have Dragon spawning in about 2 minutes. So we'll see Tick and company trying to clear some vision on this bot side. But not a lot of action happening right now. Just
this is all they need to do, right? Just control this bot side river starting now. Don't let them walk in. Make sure that you clear out this vision. And once they get soul, I mean, that's going to be even more damage going over their team, as if they didn't have enough on this Hecarim already.
Yeah, it is. Jungle Willingly is by himself 2.5K gold up against this Lilia. So it's been kind of a diffy in the jiffy this game for the Hecarim. But sign me up. Getting some damage on this top tower and not really anybody in range to help out there, as Sleeply is going to rotate. Does have teleport available for this dragon fight that is going to ensue, as Jungle Willingly taking some poke on him. But this is one of those games, you know, it's like, okay, well, we know what we need to do to win. It's just a matter of, are they going to execute it?
Well, so far, I don't see a single red ward in the river on the dragon side. So far, so good. The closest one they've been able to get is in that brush and by that blue buff, and those could be swept out rather easily. So the fact they're denying entrance into this river, exactly what they need to be doing.
Lull in the action. We have about 40 seconds until something's going to happen. As Sign Me Up is going to back as well. Sleepily just clearing top side waves. Sign Me Up not actually backing, but we have all the teleports on the map available right now, and not a lot of pressure coming out from the side of Excalibur, which is a little bit interesting, as they have, you know, they could go on these side waves and they could clear them, but I don't know, it's a little confusing. But here comes the dragon fight. Finally, some action for us. As Jungle Willingly looking around for the flank. Here comes the teleport coming out.
They got K-Traps.
Sign Me Up, and they're going to go onto this dragon. Jungle Willingly.
What is Excalibur doing, man?
Blast cone, and red team's going to slay the dragon. So that is a dragon going over to We Love Soulbert, and that's not what you want to see if you're Excalibur.
No, they had the full setup for the 2 minutes before, and then they just based like 30 seconds before dragon spawn to buy items they didn't need. They win the fight anyway. Keep control over that point of the map. Don't let them walk in for free. Big air coming out from Excalibur. This game stalls out another 5 minutes and starts to put Baron on the table for the side of We Love Soulbert, because it is something that they might be able to sneak comeback into this game, but the fact they're still in this one, pretty bad sign for Excalibur, honestly. I mean, it really feels like We Love Soulbert is the dominant team from these two games that we've seen so far. The fact that they've been able to stall this game out when it was in an unwinnable situation for Excalibur, and then they just stalled out last game and were wiping team fights at the end. I mean, Excalibur really needs to start to pick up their play and, you know, start to get down this macro play, because there's no reason with a 6K gold
Nick gonna flash forward, hit the play, and here comes Cage. Cage getting serious damage. Good lord, that guy popped. And Hiccup gonna drop. So maybe looking for the Baron here, and they're gonna start it up. Blustix and Sign Me Up going after a skirmish here. Here comes the ultimate from Malawi. Malawi looking for some more damage. Does have W available. Is going to go for it, but is going to get stuck under the tower. Meanwhile, Tick going for a hook onto Jalingo. Jalingo trying to live, but Jungle willingly going to take him out. Meanwhile, Soulbert trying to get out. Going to net to safety, but that's going to be that as they look onto this Baron once again.
And I mean, that's all they had to do, right? All they had to do was just kind of start the Baron, attack them when they entered. Good play coming out from Tick. Let's see if they can find Soulbert now as well. Sleepy is doing a nice job of zoning while they burn this down. They're playing it around this objective much better than they played around the dragon in that river.
Yeah, they didn't play around the dragon much at all. So the Sleepily is looking for something. Soulbert and Hiccup on the flip side looking for the steal. They are gonna try, but not going to be able to get it as Earl King flashes forward. Going on to Jungle Willingly, gonna pick up a kill for himself. Meanwhile, the root comes through from Cage as they're looking on to Sleepily. Earl King still has his ultimate up, is gonna look for something, but not gonna be able to find anything. They just get one trade kill, and that's a Baron going over to Excalibur.
Good play from Excalibur. They drop the Hecarim as a consolation prize. Maybe the set, too. He could get caught. Ooh.
I think he's out.
Yeah, nice sidestep.
So now what? Right? If you're Wheel of Soulbert, what can you do now? You have Baron on the enemy team. I mean, it's only a 6k gold lead. Once you get to a certain point, right, that gold lead becomes less and less important, right?
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, you have to play around Soulbert. He is the carry of this team. He has the items. He is the Caitlyn. If you set up for him to land traps, that's the only way they can win. And the way they do that is by getting to the objective first, just like they did when they took that dragon. If they get to this next one first, they're able to get priority in that river. They might be able to set up and get a pick. That said, with Baron going over to the side of Excalibur, should really help them shove out these lanes and ensure they get into the river first, just like what they're doing now.
We got dragon spawning in about a minute and a half. So a minute and a half before we have to see another objective. But Soulbert is pretty big on this Caitlyn, now sitting at 2 items and another BF sword to boot. But we have Sign Me Up is gigantic right now. 268 farms, sitting on 3 items on this Alawi. And I don't know if this Alawi is going to be impactful enough to sway the tide of this game.
I mean, that's the other win condition, right? It's just let Alawi do work in the side lane, but she hasn't been able to take any towers on her own, and she's been forced to group because of how many dragons they have, and now they're collapsing on her. This could be a turn for Sign Me Up. Let's see what happens.
Here comes the teleport coming through. Earl King looking for something, and it looks like they got scared. Cage going forward on this, going to hit the root on a Jalingo, and that is a huge kill going over to Sleepily. Meanwhile, Jungle willingly going to ult in, going to get the flea onto Earl King. That's going to be that. Sleepily looking forward, looking to try and get himself a shockwave. But Sign Me Up, sitting at level 16, is going to be looking to get a giant ultimate if they go for this dive. Going to miss the E. They have this cannon minion, the Siege. So they're going to probably get this tower with the cannon minion eventually.
They should just go to Dragon. Just pick that up. Ensure that you get the Infernal Soul nice and easy. They take a member down there. They don't have a smite. It's going to be really difficult now for We Love Soulbert to deal with the extra damage coming on through from this side of Excalibur. And honestly, they just have to wait till Elder Drake now to see if they can potentially flip that. Maybe that's what gets them back in the game.
Yeah, this is looking really good. Cage, maybe in a bad spot here, but nope, Sign Me Up, not gonna go for it. And that is the Infernal Soul being secured for Excalibur, as We Love Soulbert trying to kite back into their tower. But another interesting thing to note in this game, the Lilia not looking as good as it did in game 1, obviously, but yeah, the Lilia not looking good at all this game.
I mean, this is what happens when Hecarim gets ahead in the matchup, right? He's able to keep up with the pacing of Lilia and also severely outscales the pick. Whereas last game, we saw the Hecarim really fall flat on his ganks. He got severely outpaced because he wasn't able to keep up with the Lilia, and then Lilia got ahead. So kind of the tale of both sides of the story here, as we've seen the matchup go 2 different ways. But hey, a lot of props to Jungle willingly in this one. he was able to get so many successful ganks off early. The game was 9-3 with Hecarim participating in 8 of those, pretty much off of the horse's back. Just told his team to get on. I'm going to ride us all the way to victory. Was able to do that.
Yeah, Jungle Willingly really showed up in this game, and it's really like a testament to his mental, right? Because that first game he did not play well by any means, and able to show up huge in this game too, and potentially get a win for his team here in a quarterfinals match, as they look for something here. The E gonna miss. They're just sidestepping everything that they throw at him. But they're going to try and siege this mid tower. Here comes the hook from Tick, but they're not going to get much out of that as Tick gets all of his
nice
HP
harassed
taken away.
Yeah, it's the power of Alawi coming on through. Whew. Yeah. Alawi's really fun. Really fun.
Yeah, Alawi is very, very fun. You gotta love it, man.
That said, still on the shoulders of Excalibur to close this one out. Honestly, it's been amazing that We Love Soulbert has made it this far. I mean, the gold lead hasn't grown at all for them. They're somehow managing to keep themselves in this game, even though they're still severely outmatched and outgunned. And I'm kind of disappointed in the fact that Excalibur, they haven't been able to clean this one up without very cleanly, right? They're waiting for these monster objectives. They aren't able to manipulate vision to try and find picks on the side of We Love Soulbert as they're rotating. And I really feel like We Love Soulbert, the fact that they're still in this game under such a big disadvantage really shows that they are a strong team and should be kind of the favorites coming into this one. You have to see if Excalibur can prove us wrong. They've been up in this game forever. Should be able to take this one, but the fact they've been able to close it out very cleanly, somewhat of a concern.
Barely missing Soulbert there. Getting a good poke on the Tick here. Blustix and Earl King going at it in the bot lane in the meantime, but Baron is up. They're going to elect to posture around that as Jungle Willingly and Tick trying to clear out vision, but here comes the hook. Oh, barely going to miss Hiccup. Hiccup and Jalingo going to try and get some poke on the Tick. Tick going to get poked out here, but there's the redemption. The sleep going on to Jungle Willingly. They're going to whittle him down with the Alawi E, but he's able to speed out to safety. In the meantime, the red buff is going to be secured by Soulbert as Blustix is now on the inhibitor tower in the bot lane as Earl King cannot contain him very well.
It's a really weird setup coming out on the side of We Love Soulbert. Like, you think that they want to keep Alawi against the set because she has been doing so much work, and this is really stopping her from getting the farm that she needs to keep on accelerating in this game. Instead, they brought her to try and contest this objective. I feel like Swain does a better job of that, even if he is behind.
Yeah, it's looking bleaker and bleaker, but the more you stall this game out, the better chance you give your team to win, right? I mean, like I said before, the gold lead becomes less and less impactful as the game goes on and as these teams hit these full builds. But you have a Soul Stealer on the Orianna, now a fully stacked Spellbinder. I mean, that Shockwave is going to be a one-shot potential, right? So it's looking a little rough. They're going to posture around this Baron right now. Hecarim going to look for a reset, trying to get himself over here. But Sign Me Up is on the flank. Cage may be caught out here. This is a little bit rough. He's in the pit, but the E going to miss.
I mean, theoretically, it's been looking bad since the 5-minute mark, right? But still, We Love Soulbert have been able to stay in this game somehow and have been able to stall this one out to when, I mean, Caitlyn, she has 3 items now. Like, she's actually a threat in this game again. She has survived that power trough. Yes, they are very far behind. They're down an Infernal Soul, but hey, they're still in this one.
There's the hook on to Sign Me Up. Is he going to get the ult off? No, he is not. He's going to fall straight away to Sleepily. Sleepily, like I said, with the burst from the Spellbinder, able to one-shot him, basically. And they're going to turn onto this Baron. They're not going to be able to do much about this. Jalingo does have Flash available, maybe looking for a steal here. I mean, that would help them stall out. Going to ult onto both members. Earl King going to flash forward with his ultimate, but they're going to kite out with this Redemption Cage, trying to get some damage out. Here comes the ultimate from Set. Set going to get thrown into Soulbert, putting out some serious damage. Sleepily now legendary on this Orianna. Soulbert kiting out the fight. Soulbert trying to do as much as he can. The root comes through on his Sleepily. He's not going to fall as well. And that is going to be that. A 3 for 2 in the favor of Excalibur.
That's big. The fact that they denied that Baron going over and both teams have to reset, they might actually be able to get tempo for this Dragon as Soulbert just throws out the ult to stop a base. That's a big deal. They're going to be able to at least try and get back out on the map for this Elder Dragon. Much more important objective than the Baron. So we have Soulbert successful in stalling out that objective. And once again, they somehow keep on managing to stay in this game off the back of Soulbert's Caitlyn. Yes, he's only 3-3-2, but my God, was he putting out damage in that fight. I also really want to give credit to Sleepily. Love how he was playing that Orianna off to the side, really zoning out front line, but oh my gosh, they're going for it. They're trying to take this Elder down.
They're trying to take the Elder. They're going to try and burn it.
Still no Hecarim.
Hecarim's still not alive. Sign me up, trying to put some damage onto it. Here comes the root. Earl King trying to do as much as he can. Soulbert in the meantime poking down this Elder. They're going to secure the Elder. Here comes the Shockwave though, as in the meantime, Jalingo trying to get a sleep onto him. He's going to get Sleepily asleep. Sleepily is going to fall. Here comes Jalingo. Jalingo on this Lilia trying to chase down Tick. Tick is going to get taken very low, but he is going to survive thanks to his shield. But here they go. They're going to go for this Baron, and this is going to be a game-changing play should they secure this. Hecarim is alive. Hecarim does have the XP lead on Jalingo, does have the smite advantage. Is he going to go for this steal? Jalingo, and they are burning this Baron down with the Elder buff, and they are going to secure the Baron for themselves. And all of a sudden, this game becoming less like a blowout and more like a comeback.
Yeah, the early game was jungle diff. The late game has been bot diff so far. This Caitlyn is pumping out damage, and that call from We Love Soulbert, it was gutsy. It took a lot of pizzazz, but guess what? It was the right one. They pull it off. They take the Elder, and hey, when you're behind that far and you get a look like that, you have to take it. Even if they go down there, might have been their best chance to win the game. They take the Elder. They now have both monster buffs with the Baron as well. They got all the cool colors on themselves, so they're going to try and march through and take as many objectives as possible.
Yeah, this is looking really, really good for them right now. This is the best chance they have. If they are able to end off of this double monster buff, this might be the best comeback in Risen quarterfinals history. Now we are looking at Earl King. Earl King going to be taken pretty low from that poke. That's some serious harass as they are looking onto this mid lane tower. They're going to secure the mid lane tower, and they're going to continue to siege with this Baron buff. Now, are they going to look for something else? Are they going to look for a dive, or are they going to continue to siege? Here comes a huge shockwave, and that's a dead Earl King. And now they're looking on to Cage. Cage going to get the root, and that's a dead jungle willingly from the Alawi AoE. And here comes Alawi on to Tick. Another kill going over to this Alawi. Alawi looking huge right now, and they are looking onto this inhibitor turret. That is a 2-for-1. Earl King, the only one drop. Everybody else about full HP. You have a dead Tick, a dead jungle willingly, no engage whatsoever on the enemy team. Jalingo going to look for a sleep, going to hit it onto him, and here comes Alawi. There's a dead Cage, and they're looking for more. They're looking onto the Nexus towers. This is going to be the biggest comeback I have ever witnessed in the history of my casting career, and that is a dead Nexus and a 2-0. I can't believe what I just saw.
Oh my goodness, Alawi with Elder Drake is disgusting, as she was just killing people with absolutely no interaction. She was just landing the E, burning them from 100 to 0. That was gross coming on through. And hey, props to We Love Soulbert. They kept themselves in it. They were able to claw their way back into the game. The KDAs don't look pretty. The way they won that game doesn't look pretty, but guess what? A win is a win. They'll take that. They'll take that 2-0 as they move on to the semifinals.
That a Soulbert gap, or is that a Soulbert gap?
Soulbert played very well after the Hecarim was not able to punish him anymore.
Lord have mercy. That Alawi with Elder Drake really just carried that last little chunk of the game. But a very well played series, no matter what, the way you look at it from Excalibur, able to come back and get themselves a lead, but to no avail as We Love Soulbert takes it 2-0 and moves on to semis.
Yeah, and they've got to be a team that you have to be worried about in this league. If they're able to claw their way back like that throughout the pace of a game, and I mean, you could take it the other angle and say, like, hey, they got really far behind early. punish that. But the fact they had the mental fortitude, they were able to make some nice plays. They broke some vision. I think Excalibur had a million mistakes after they got that lead, but the fact that We Love Soulbert were able to win that game, still credits to them, able to claw their way back, get back into that one, get that Elder Drake. And I guess once you get Elder Drake with the Lowy, that's just the win condition. You just kill people without ever touching a Lowy.
Yeah. I mean, that was crazy. But all in all, we have We Love Soulbert moving on to the Premade Dominate quarterfinal or semifinals, and a huge series for them. Cubby, I want to thank you so much for being on the desk with me and casting with me today. Big shout out to our boy Gala. Is it Gala? I think it's Gala. Yeah, it's Gala. Gala in the back, making us look pretty, making us sound pretty. But all in all, a great series. Cubby, you have any closing thoughts?
Um, I really want to see a clip of Alawi with an Elder Drake hit Twitter. That was gross. That might have been one of the most disgusting interactions I've ever game.
Very true. Very true. But again, thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting Risen Esports. I have been Mikey, and along with me was Cubby. And we thank you guys, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And we look forward to seeing you for quarterfinals, semifinals. Damn it.